Hello and welcome to this tips and tricks video from My Favorite Things. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a few techniques that you can use to prep and prime your clear stamps to ensure that you get solid stamped images every time. When using a clear stamp for the first time, you may notice that you get a splotchy, uneven image. This is very common with clear stamps, and you can see here I've stamped this flower image directly from the package, and I've ended up with some white area on the inside of the stamp, and I did not get a solid stamped impression. One of my favorite ways to prep the stamp for ink is to rub it against the palm of my hand. I just put the clear stamp onto the block and then rub it against the top area of my hand until I've completely covered the whole stamped image. You can see you kind of get a cloudy look to the stamp, and when you apply ink to it, it's going to grab onto that ink and hold onto it and then transfer it to the paper so that you get a solid stamped image. Using a Versamark ink pad is another great way to prep your stamp to get a solid, crisp image. Just apply the ink directly to a clean stamp, and then rub the stamp over the palm of your hand like we did in the first technique, but only do it one time just to remove most of that ink from the stamp. You do want to leave a tiny bit of the Versamark ink on the stamp, and then stamp it directly into your dye ink, and then stamp your image onto your paper. And you can see here we get another nice solid impression. Rubbing the surface of your stamp with a rubber eraser is also a great way to prime and prep your stamp. Just simply take your eraser and rub it over the whole surface of the stamp until you see that you have a cloudy film once again over the whole image. Then simply add your ink to your stamp and stamp it onto your paper for a nice solid impression. I definitely recommend taking a few extra seconds before you stamp to try out one of these techniques to ensure that you get a nice solid image. Thank you for joining us for this tips and tricks video from My Favorite Things.